All right, this deck. uh. Okay. I remember early on I chose something over Fate. We didn't see another Fate. That's sad. But we do have White Auracite, Battle Menu, Slash of Light. This is a very interesting deck. And I don't know if I should run Vivi, but it's my first time having Vivi, and I really want to run Vivi! Alright, let's see. And we've like 1,000,000 4-drops, and 1.5 million. With the Sid, the Aeriths are very good, but I don't know that I can afford to run both of them, so I might cut one of those at the very least. Yeah, let's cut one. Hi, Bulwark, how you doing? Nice to see you. So I think the two, questions, there are 3 questions here, and that's all of these 3, I think. I think I like the rest of this very much. The cargo ship is a question. It doesn't ramp us to many things overall, but it is a 2/3 flyer that's an artifact anyway, and can just, help us get these out faster. The crystal, the auracite, the armor, and maybe the relentless. That would be the main ramp bit. The Lunatic Pandora as removal isn't awful. We're a little light on removal. Battle menu slash white auracite. Like, that's not a lot. So that's why the Lunatic is a consideration. But even if I cut these 3, I still have to find more things to cut. And I do think the deck is better, more consistent, at least, without Vivi, but I really, really want to run Vivi. So I could just cut these 3 and go. I don't have other ways to draw cards, besides the vendor, really, and sort of this, these 3 are our draw effects. Like, sweet, here we got the vendor to do 1, delivery mogul to sort of draw a specific card, and then this one when things die. So we don't really draw cards. So like, that's why we want, that's why originally I really want the travel, and all of our tricks, so to speak, are on board right now. And so that's besides maybe battle menu, if we were like pumping something, but You're Not Alone will be another trick that I was considering. So maybe I could cut a creature or 2. I just don't want to. Thanks, Bulwark. I really appreciate it. I don't know about better. We'll see. Ishgard might be, I like it. And if we lose our like white auracite or something, but I found this thing is almost always too slow. It would get us 2 artifacts. We don't have enchantments, obviously. Sahagin would be only triggered by 4 things now. So I could cut the Sahagin. That's actually an interesting choice. But it is an early drop for... So we have 3 early drops in the form of the White Mage's Staff and the Battle Menu. And so that would be 5. That's not so bad. I mean, this isn't being triggered by 2... I do like having early drops. It's just not good enough. Okay, so let's cut that. Okay. And then I can maybe keep one of these. So... Is it going to be travel to draw late? Very dead card early, and it would be our only double blue card. Or do we just run the Lunatic for removal? So, okay, hold on. Let me just move this over here, this over here, this over here, because these create creatures. This can be a trick or creature. This is also an artifact you can sack to draw off voluntarily off this. Still an onboard trick. I think the draw is better than having, like, Lunatic for now. I'll probably regret that at some point, but here we are. Okay, so this is 9 sources of white, 9 sources of blue, 3 sources of red. I'm gonna cut a blue source for a white source there, so that's 10 sources of white. And then 8 sources of blue. I think that's fine to return on 3, maybe. Okay. Okay, alright. Good luck to us. I really want to run the VV. I know that's probably a mistake in this deck. It really... I don't know that it... we do have a lot of non-creature spells, but I don't know that it really adds enough to justify the mana issue. All right, let's try it. Power 4 or greater. That happens so infrequently in blue decks. It happens on turn 5. I think while they're tapped out, we push with this. It does give them the information sooner, but they're gonna probably... They could, like, stop... They can bounce it, for example, this turn, but that taps them out again, so hopefully we can maybe... Or if we draw a Wyvern land that, or... Oh, blue-green. Okay. Alright. Wasn't necessarily expecting that one. Okay. Alright. We got the 4th land, so we do just activate this. Charge. Play Magitech next turn in theory. Yeah, that was one of the things that I was thinking. Like, they don't get to 4 power so infrequently. Okay, so we can Delivery Moogle and fetch up a White Mage's Staff. Or we can play Magitech Armor. I think I like getting the Flyer online. Ooh, do I want the cargo ship? That is another question. They may have flyers, but I think... So White Mage's Staff would allow us to attack into the Sahakin, but not the Scorpion currently. I'm going to take the cargo ship. Although, when am I going to play that in the next few turns? That is, so double spelling there with like a 1/3 and a 1/4 is the ideal, you know, drop against us, though. It stops our ground. Oh, God. Shit, we're dead. I think we land Graha. How am I going to get out of this? White Orosite, I guess? When they don't have something up? I could suicide in something to draw a card, but I don't think we do that yet. The crew Lunar Whale and I double block with Moogle and Tia. That goes so poorly if they have any pump or removal. Yeah. Okay. I think we just let them have it. Attack back. Hope we can get there. I think I need that. Lose one, maybe trade. Because the Aerith's rescue mission might be one way we could get through. I want to hit like a draw here that's decent, hopefully. This is a bit of a greedy attack, but I think I want it. Yeah, okay. Well, Sid would be a good draw to have those still on the board, but I think we need the draw. Especially if they bounce another thing to the top or do something like that. It's just a shame that they had such huge toughness early. So quickly. Power, not so much. But I think we did the right thing with the battle menu to try and pressure, but there was... There has big butts and cannot lie. 3 and 5... No! Ugh, 2 bodies to block. God damn it. Well, we're not drawing the land that I could to draw 4. I can't get in. This is rather unfortunate. Now we probably die to the Sahagin. Aura and equipment spells. Cost 1 less to cast. Can't cast Relentless. Okay, so that, I mean, we haven't seen a land, even though I drew a bit, but that's a little sad. All right. I do want to hit that land, though. Do I want to attack here? I don't think so. We can maybe surprise them with a mass pump on, like, with Sid as +1/+1 across the infantry 1/1 and Magitech armor. I think we're very dead, but it's too much card advantage off Lunar. Oh, well, it was a good start. Lunar Whale is a hell of a drug. Ice Flan! Na 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 Ice Flan. Yeah, I don't know how we get this game. Unfortunately, there was a moment where like Aerith Rescue Mission might have won it for us, but not seeing Oracite or Slash of Light is a problem. We just don't see the 6th land, unfortunately, because I think if we could have played this that turn, we might have had a shot. Hmm. Yeah, that's too late. Okay, all right. Too bad for us. Yeah, they have too many blockers now. And because this is tapped down, it's like if I drew Aerith's Rescue Mission, I'd be 1 off. If I could play a creature first. I can't survive the next turn because the Sahagin kills me. Maybe they don't block at all. Owl. Okay. So I draw another card, but it obviously doesn't matter. I just, okay. So the worst part of that was actually seeing the 1/4 and the 1/3 come down right away. Because that's completely halted our ground assault. And there was no way to pump them enough with the equipment that I could get, to get through. This is definitely missing a Dragoon's Lance, of course, anything like flying like that. And then, that gives flying. And then the Lunar Whale to just keep getting advantage while we couldn't get through was rough. This would have probably won us the game earlier, but and a Slash of Light would have been really nice to kill the whale, but oh well. All right, so we will keep this, I think. It's a little bit sketch as far as stuff go. Oh boy, another blue deck. Oh boy, okay. Okay, blue-black this time. Turd Cobbler, welcome. How was your stream? I hope it was awesome. So we can play Squall. I don't think I want to ramp them by attacking. I don't think that's correct, and certainly I'm not going to kill it. I can play Aerith Rescue Mission just to make the creatures into Sid, because he pumps them into 2/2s. Which is pretty good. Lock Coal is annoying, and I will kill that. Probably. This does ramp them if they block, but they don't trade, so that's a nice start. It's not a very ideal, oh, fuck, we're dead. Okay. Our deck is good and synergistic, but unfortunately, opponents have the nuts, it appears. So, sucks for me. I can tap it down, put tap these two down, put a stun counter on this. Or I can try to go wide, but I just lose to that card unless I have removal. And I don't think putting in the lunar would help at all, because that's a 6 mana activation. Battle menu doesn't kill it because it doesn't have 4 power. We need like Aura Sight and that's it. Fuck. Okay. I think we're gonna just go with the original plan and try this, but I think we're effed. Like, I honestly think we're just dead. Oh boy. Okay. I really want to concede right now. This was like not a game at all. Nice solitaire. Okay, I didn't draw Aura Sight. Let's go. Yeah, okay. Ugh. The deck is pretty synergistic. that's what it has going for it, but unfortunately, if it doesn't draw removal and opponents draw bombs, we're effed. And even if it does draw removal, it needs removal for the next bomb too. The next really good card. Like, we had to kill Locke. That was correct to do. But then we just died to Akuja. Fuck me. Alright. Here we go. I found Vivi and the White Aura Sight. I really need mana now, though. Okay, that's a good start. That's a good start. Since they're running blue and potential counter magic, I'm just gonna do this. Fudge. Okay. A land into Aurosite there would have been sweet. Give the bird to the bird. Well, we seem to get stuck on the one land that we need in the 2 bookend games. That really sucks. So on the first game, we needed the 6th land. This, we needed the 4. We've missed it for 2 turns now. Oh boy, okay. And they're just on mono rares over there while we can't draw a land. This is really miserable. Deck is 50% lands. We have 17 of them. I can cycle Sid. And maybe play a land, but I think we've already lost. They can just hold up counter magic or removal. We're gonna white Aurosite war? This is interesting. Yeah, this sucks. 1 land and we could have killed that. Or like 2 turns ago. And then... Oh man. This is demoralizing to start with. Their deck is not insane. This card is not good. Overall. And requires, in their white-red deck or white-blue deck, a splash. They got perfect mana. Like, I can't... It's not... This is a normal deck. This isn't... Furion's not great in their deck currently, right? Like, it's... This is not an insane deck. They built a good, you know, decent deck with the cards they had. Not to say they're not playing it well, not to say that it's not going well for them, it's just they... This isn't an insane deck. Alright, if I go for this, it gets countered, right? Or should I go for this? So I didn't draw land because otherwise we could white and into this, which would be... I mean, getting this was nice, but... Alright, let's go. Alright, it didn't get countered, might get destroyed. Suplex is an option. But no, this is like... White Mage's Staff is a decent card, decent card. This card doesn't really synergize that we've seen. Like, it's got a White Mage's Staff, that's fine. But if they're white, red, then the blue... Where's the blue? Oh, they have 2 Aurosites. Charming. But, like, this is not a, you know, an unbelievable card. It's good. It's not unbelievable. Especially because you're supposed to be able to remove it, which we would have been able to do with 4 mana. Am I blocking anything else? No. I think we've just acknowledged we've lost, unfortunately. That not hitting that 4th mana for, like, 2 turns past where we needed to is really bad. I I can't play a creature into the Slash of Light, unfortunately. So I do just lose. I can't kill the Sid. I can kill the Tella. I could cycle this, but I die to just everything. There's not much to be done. We're just stuck on lands. Didn't get the fourth one for Tech is 52% land. Yeah, I mean, this draft kind of sucked, not gonna lie. I don't think we misplayed it horribly. I'm gonna kill this before I die. Shuffler got me the first game too. Alright, let's just concede. Shuffler got us the first game, we couldn't hit the sixth land, and Shuffler got us this land. This worse this time, we couldn't hit the fourth land, and then we died to Kuja in the middle game. So that was a complete non-draft. I do like this deck. I think it's quite good. The problem is it does need to hit lands. We do have 17 of them. It should hit lands. We even have stuff to make our stuff cheaper. We have the cargo ship to make our artifacts cheaper, for example. And we have Danitha, which makes our or at least our white mage's staffs cheaper. I like this deck. I think it was good. I think we got hosed by the Shuffler and then also hosed by Kuja. So that is very sad. That did not feel like a draft, and I'm really sad about it, and it really sucks to start that way. I'm not gonna lie. It really sucks to start that way, but that's the way the game goes sometimes. Ah, man. Oh, their curve was good. Well, no, I mean, so wasn't Squall the first thing they played on 3? That's not a good curve for a white-red deck. The fact that they followed Squall up with 2 rares was definitely nice. Absolutely. Okay, so there's Suplex, Cornered, Fate, Evil Reawakened, and Reach. No exciting rares for us. And this is one of the problems, of course, always with play boosters, is you can get a land like this in a pack where somebody else is getting like a 60, 70, 80% win rate card. Let's... God, that's interesting. I think I'm gonna go... Cornered. Let's try it. You two have so much fun, Gobbler. All right, I'm staying the hell away from red-blue because apparently red-blue is where I just get wrecked. We're gonna take Torgal here. Shantoto is one of the stronger cards you can possibly get, and if you can... But there's also, like, Eject and Blazing Bomb in the same pack. You can probably wheel a Bomb, but, like... And there's Baron. So, like, this is a fine pick here, and probably the right one. I'm not going to do. I'm going to Torgal and just move on. We got wrecked so hard with, yeah, see, you could go Shantoto into Ultros. That is nutty. Thunder Magic here, interesting too. I'm gonna take the Chocobo kick. But we tried to do red-blue like a lot of yesterday because it was what was handed to us, and again, it's definitely what's handed to us here. We would have a nutty, start for the red-blue deck. Could we take Suplex early, then we take Shantoto, then we take Ultros, and then you take either Sahagin or another Suplex here. But we just kept getting flooded when we did that every time. The other day, it was so miserable. All right, we'll take an Evil Reawakened here over Crossroads Village. Tifa's Limit Break. I don't think we're running Shinra. Shinra, not yet. We're not taking it over Tifa's Limit Break, but it's fine in this deck because we already have the Evil Reawakened. Shinra Reinforcement. The Rufus, I don't think is worth yet trying to splash for. And Hope is well past what colors we're looking at right now. Giselle Greens over Fight On. I just want Chocobos. Ring of the Lucia is as a... or... Lucia, I'm not sure if it's actually supposed to be pronounced, how it's supposed to be pronounced. It's actually an okay choice here because we might want to ramp to really big things. But I'm gonna take the green out of the pack, I think, here first. This is great if we get Arden, but or other 7 drops, I think. I think I'm still gonna take the greens. I want my Chocobos. But yeah, my point isn't to like disparage the opponent's deck. It's more just like of an evaluation of a deck. Like that's not what I get super excited when I like put a deck together to see. Okay, Diamond Weapon over Gone, although I would like that very much. That's a late White Mage's Staff. Okay, I'm gonna take the Fate of the Suncrest here over Insomnia. We do have Poo Poo and Torgal. Already to sort of fix. That may or may not be great for us, but we'll see. We also want to leave open, you know, going into Selesnya if black is just not open. I'd prefer to be in black-green because of the Diamond Weapon right now. Because that's the way you put out a Diamond Weapon the fastest. But all right, Precious Wanderings over a Trader. I think there's another Trader that might wheel. I mean, we'll see if whether we run this. I'm not gonna, obviously the rest of this doesn't make it in, so there is a possibility that we run this if we're short on removal. Airship Crash I do like having. The Trader is decent here. Like I said, that one I actually wouldn't mind taking, but I think I'm going to take the first Airship Crash over that and still figure out whether we want to be, like, still stay base green and figure out what our second color is later. Or even third. Alright, we did get a Trader. Curl is fine. I think I like the Trader better here, because we do have a decent set of 2 drops, the 3 of those already, so I'll move the spells over here for now. Oh. Son of a... No! Come on! Alright, we're taking Arden, but like Fenrir and Buster Sword in the same pack along with Treachery? Can I just walk away with this pack? Please? Oh, this hurts. Physically. Of course I can pass Sword. For Arden, I can pass Sword. Another Torgal, Cecil, Greatsword. Yeah, okay. Another Cecil. I think we take Balam or Demon Wall. Or Dire City. I think it's Balam. Is this card good? Like, I've not seen it be good. I'm gonna try it out now. I like Circle of Power to draw cards into this stuff. T-Rex Sword and Undercity Dire Rat are both really good here. I'm gonna take the circle to draw some cards, I think, for now. Although we really do want at least one of these to get in for the Evil Reawakened and Ardent to fetch back and make the diamond weapon cheaper. Now I wish I'd taken the four mana ramp artifact earlier. Oh, Arden and Buster Sword in the same. Buster Sword is very good. Arden is better if you can cast it, obviously. So we want to make it as likely as possible for us to be able to cast it. The Reach didn't wheel the like find 2 towns and put them into play, or to that one it did that. Now we have that. Oh, Vane's Treachery though, and Fat Chocobo. I already passed a Vane's Treachery this pack. Oh man, I probably have to take the Reach here though. Because we really want to ramp into Arden. Heck dies over Seath and Blitzball. Ooh, Town Greeter, Black Mage's Rod, and another Evil Reawakened is pretty sweet. I think we're gonna... Oh god, but what if we... I think I'm gonna take a second Reawakened here over the Town Greeter. Town Greeter's really good in this deck. Really good because of Diamond Weapon, etc. But I'm actually going to take this. And we are going to prioritize the mana fetchers. Malboro and the T-Rexor. And if I get another Town Greeter, great. But I want to get this one first because if I Town Greeter and put Arden in the graveyard and I only and the Evil Reawakened that I had, then I would just want to cry. Okay, we're gonna take the first Resentful Rev over the Ochu here. I'm not gonna look at those two. Passing 2 Vane's Treachery is rough. All right. Bard's Bow Phantom. Okay, so here's Eden. That is actually interesting. This isn't a really good Phantom Train deck. It does work okay because it can start putting stuff in the graveyard for the Diamond Weapon to come out faster. We are weak to flyers, except for the Diamond Weapon, so the Bard's Bow is not bad. I'm still going to take the Eden here, I think, because, again, it's another way to recur things. I don't want to run Insomnia, I don't think, for the Fate. I'm going to run the Trader. Again, it ramps us. Okay, there's the T-Rexor. Oh, I want that Dire Rat, too. Okay, but I'm going to take the first T-Rexor. Free rare. Blitzball shot for potential. Okay, Vane's... Oh, wait. Town Greeter. And a Crossroads Village. I think it's Vane's Treachery over Town Greeter here still. That allows us to sacrifice a creature, put something in the graveyard, get closer to casting the Diamond Weapon, and give something to as fodder for Arden and the Evil Reawakened. I'm going to take the key. Whoa, there's the ring. Okay. Nikes. Kina is decent here because we have these that are putting tokens into play. Cornered and Circle put tokens into play. Giselle puts tokens into play. So Kina's actually fine. I've seen the ring wheel. And I already have Reach and 2 Torgals and the... Yeah, okay, I'm going to take this. Racetrack is good with Kina. Very good with Kina. But there's a Malboro too, which, again, that's one of the things we really want here. Am I even running Chocobo Racetrack in this, though? I don't think I am. I'm going to take the Malboro. Make sure that I can, you know, cast my spell. That's the second Edgar. I don't want anything in this pack. I guess we run the Shinra reinforcements now. Obviously over Gigantode. That does mill for that. Okay, there's another Malboro and a Clash. Okay. Clash is not great here. We don't have any sagas, but it is still punch. So, sorry, fight. So I think I'm going to take it over a second Malboro for now and not run it if I don't need it. Ooh, side quest. I wish I'd taken the Chocobo racetrack with that. Okay, so I've got side quest Malboro options here. Side quest is just going to be a 2-2. Malboro is a way to get more black. I'm going to take the 2-2 for now and see whether we run that. Reno and Rude? Okay. Yeah, side quests make me slightly sad, but not too sad. I think we're okay not just having it as a 2-2 that pumps with creatures. I don't know that I'm going to run this, but we'll see. I'm not going to splash for Gladiolus, although that would be a consideration, and I'm not going to run the Monk's Fist, so... Currently, so. Poison the Waters world map. Another Tifa's Limit Break, and I love another Air Crash. It's really late fates coming around. I don't think I want the town, even though we have the poo-poo. Poo-poo's just for ramp at this point. I'm gonna take the free rare. Wow, it's also late dreams and vendor. That's very... I'm not gonna run a third one of these, I think, so we'll just put this over here. This was a weird ending to this draft. All right. So I did pass. I got one Veins Treachery, but I did pass two. We are very heavily reliant on Arden here. I can't protect it, but I can get it back unless it goes under an Aura Site, which we have one airship crash for. Could have taken a second airship crash. At that point. I'm not sure I would run it, though, so... Alright, I don't know if Cecil's is right to run here. Yeah. So for our removal package, we have Airship Crash, Cornered by Black Mages, Veins Treachery, Chocobo Kick, Clash. You lived the dream. 24-4 Tifa win on turn 4 in limited. Really? Okay, explain the sequence. Explain the sequence. I'm gonna run to the restroom and then I'm gonna read it. I also want to get tea and some snacks because I can now eat, it being an hour after I took the thyroid medications. Yay! Be right back. Gubu turn 2, Tifa turn 3. Oh, so that's turn 5 then, right? Oh, wait, no, I see what you mean. You did the Tifa limit break for... Wait, what? 1? To give it +2/+2? Bahamut on 4. So yeah, Tifa's limited break to give it +2/+2. On 4, use the Gubu to put the thing, the 2 doubles. Wait, what? That won't work. What? Hold on. Oh, +2/+2, then play the land, so that's 4, then 8, then... Okay, got it. That makes sense. That seems fun. I like it. Well done. Okay, the tea water's on. I feel like this isn't a very good card. I feel like I don't want it. I mean, maybe? Yeah. I mean, it's... Arden can gain us back the life later, but... I don't know. I've played against this card multiple times, and it does scare me, but I just let them hit me with it for a while. And then I kill it. But that I have to have the kill before blah, or like... Or basically you just keep attacking into it before it transforms, and then they have to block eventually. And it doesn't reanimate by the Arden well. Like, this doesn't reanimate this very well. Because there's a 5/5 death touch that still reads this. So you don't actually gain the life if you do... Yeah, And as a token, it doesn't have a backside, correct? I don't know about that card. Okay. It sacrifices to Reno and Rude just fine, though. All right, I'm gonna get the tea poured and be right back. I'll think about this. I'm not getting rid of these two. I'm not getting rid of this. I think these are all considerations to potentially cut. We could probably let Poo Poo go, but I do like it as a blocker against early flyers. And it also just hopefully, you know, will allow us to play multiple lands a turn if we draw them. And we can fetch some of them, so that's not bad. Reno, side quest, Shinra. I think the traders are still fine. One of them could be cut. But, like, this is the base of the deck, I think, there. We don't want to go too low on creatures so that Arden does have things to get back, but we can get back stuff from their graveyard as well, so... removal is key. We're definitely not cutting cornered. Cutting corners. Haha. Sorry. Okay. Be right back. Kina buys time via the Namazu. Like we have, if we cut obviously, if we cut Giselle Greens and side quest, Kina's worse. And if we cut one trader, Kina's worse. But if we don't cut those things, if those things are the things we keep, then Kina plays a bigger role than one would normally think, because it buys us time to get to Arden, because it creates a lot of little buggers, little froggies, because this produces token, this produces token, this produces token. All of these produce, so those are all tokens, and then we also have the cornered and the circle. So Shinra's good in the game plan, because it does mill 3 cards so that we can then get the diamond weapon out sooner. But I'm less worried about having cards in the graveyard at all, because we have the Malboro and the Balam to go into the graveyard. So I'm not. We have to weigh a little bit the idea of like staying alive until we can play Arden as well. So that's why Shinra is on the block potentially, as opposed to Kina. But again, if we cut some of the things here that we're talking about as far as tokens, then we are absolutely, Kina is worse than Shinra. So and oftentimes I prefer resentful to the Shinra anyway. But here I might not, just because this is also a creature itself. But this digs for Arden. And we don't... Shinra is rough if you don't already have, you know, a recursion spell in hand. I mean, Shinra's gaining life also does provide a little bit more of a buffer as well, but I prefer having multiple bodies to block an onslaught. And I do think we're going to be running these traders at 4, just because we want to ramp into something, even though they're not humans. And this is, we don't have to ramp in order to get to the Shinra, as opposed to, you know, the traders. So, since we're like, we don't have that much interaction. We have some, but the poison is there because that's a little bit of interaction of like, okay, we kill all their black mages, or okay, we take their bomb out of their hand, is the idea, hopefully, as sort of interaction to make up for not having like Sephiroth's intervention, etc., which is one of the and like Cloud of Darkness, which are 2 of the things that this deck is sorely lacking. So that's why this is a consideration at all, much less, like, normally I'm not a huge fan of it, but yeah. All right, what am I doing here? I think this might be an okay Reno and Rude deck. And then we run all the tokens. Because these producers, we don't, I don't know. That's interesting. Okay, I'm going to decide, executive decision here. I'm going to go for the token package. And the Shinra reinforcements. Cut these. Run 41, even though we have, I mean, I could cut a land because we have so much ramp in theory. I mean, if the Torgals die, then we don't really. So we have Torgals, Precious, Reach, Poo-Poo to put stuff into play, these to find stuff. I'll just run 41. Hey, everybody, how you doing? Okay, so let's try this. I can always shift it up mid stuff. Remind me if I tell myself that I'm going to shift it up. Remind me to do so. I wonder if Reno and Rude is actually okay here. Play with their deck? I don't think so. I don't think we want to be sacrificing the treasure tokens. We're fine sacrificing Heck Dies and the other things to get them the graveyard so that the diamond weapon can be cast sooner. But there are a lot of things I don't want to sacrifice. And it's not better than our other 2-drops currently, provided we're running the token theme. I like the greens because not only is it a token for the Kina, but if we mill it with the Shinra, we can get value out of it later. Yeah, let's try this. Okay. We're gonna run that. Okay. Too much to think about. Oh good, no green source. And no way to fetch a green source. That's epic. Can kill the first thing, fetch a swamp. We have 9... Sorry, no. Okay, so let's mulligan this. Fine. Alright. I'm gonna keep this for the swamp cycling because we need to hit swamps eventually. But it also would guarantee me the 4th land for this. Okay, stop, deck. What the Ooh, boy. Mono red. Are you a rogue? You're a scout. Fuck! You're a scout! What a what a curve! That's the dream, isn't it? What the hell? How I guess I'm letting opponents live the dream tonight, where it's just like, here, easy win. Just draw perfect. All right. There goes Gisela Greens. Damn, that actually would have been good. What the hell? Why couldn't they have gotten my, like, 5th forest that I... Oh, God. This sucks. they did take one forest. Arena is so mean today. It was mean yesterday, and it's mean today, and I'm not liking any of this. Well, let's just go flood. That's fine. You know what? Let's go to the next game. I'm good. And when I say I'm good, I'm very angry right now. Like, this is not fun. Even if I lose, I'd like to have a game. Telemachos, huh? Someone's reading. Yeah, but you'd have to draw it, wouldn't you, instead of forests? Cecil might have really helped that match. Yeah, cards would have really helped that match. I can kill it. It may draw them cards. It does. I think we just play this. Hold up the Veins Treachery. Yeah, but this time, sucker. All right. Unfortunately, I did have to sacrifice the source there of my... the second black source, so I do have to use this here if I want to do this. I have nothing else to sacrifice as well. That I would love to sacrifice the thing to surveil again, but there we go. I guess we do this now. Because if they kill Torgal, yeah, we just do this now. And I think we need to sacrifice the wizard to surveil again, because this is kind of rough. Oh god. I do want a swamp, but I can't. I need actual action here. Uh-oh. That's action. There are a couple swamps in here. Oh well, I was hoping for a ramp before I drew that, but there we are. Oh god, please don't have a counterspell. Oh, I can't get two swamps. Okay, that's okay. We still have the Torgal. Still need to draw land, but that's technically a land. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Do I just play it though? I think I just play it. The likelihood of drawing a land is still pretty good. And this also takes the focus off of Torgal a little bit. I was wondering what they had. It was pausing, so I didn't want to run this into counter magic, even though we do have Eden to get it back. I really didn't want it to run at that. But that's interesting because we can say resolve. We can choose this as an attacker. Sacrifice this, surveil. Put both of those into the graveyard. Next to blockers. If they want to kill it, we can kill a Sahagin. Play this. Yes! Tell me you don't have anything. Okay. Okay. Now, it turns out the stuck would not have worked on Arden. Arden's the triggered ability, but it was pausing and I didn't know what they had, so I... that was... Whew. But they should have kept that land in hand. I would have been still agonizing over whether to play Arden. I would have done it because I really didn't have anything else to do, and I would probably get recursion later, but yeah. Yeah. Oof. Demon poo-poo back for vengeance. Yes. Okay. Oh man. Okay. Thank goodness they didn't. They did flood out a bit, as you saw. So thank goodness for that. For us, I am sorry to OP. They absolutely did flood out a bit. I'm so glad we had the removal for the Kuja this time. I really didn't want to do the thing. Eden wouldn't have worked if they had syncopate, but you can't play around that. Like that's definitely bad, but like we'd have had to try it. It's not Moschino, it's a baby bell cheese. Why can't I get 2 colors of mana in my opening hand? What is wrong with this? Whatever, I'm keeping it because we have Poo Poo plus Shinra. Hopefully I can draw a green source. Demon poo poo bladder. Would you like a side of vengeance for that? Yeah. Hello. Yeah, thanks, Arena. I'm gonna send a poo-poo message. Come on, deck. Well, this sucks. Well, I did all I could to draw a fucking forest. We cycled twice. Well, there weren't any forests coming up for the top half of our deck, so our deck is now 50% lands, 8 of which are forests. Unfortunately, even if I get a forest now, we're really, really, really too far behind. One of which is a Balam T-Rexor still in the deck as well, that can fetch a forest. I'm so angry tonight and yesterday. Like, this has just been every game is mana issues. Whether it's flood, whether it's screw, whether it's color screw, it's always something. And we've mulliganed the past 2 games, like... We're only a 2-color deck. There shouldn't be this problem. We have 23 cards left in our library. This sucks. I might have to stop. Like, I'm actually legit getting very, very, very upset. Part of it is hormonal, but, like, I am legit getting pissed. Like, yesterday I realized why I was so upset, you know, period. Literally, period. But why I was getting so upset. But, like, part of it is also just, like, I don't get to play Magic. This really sucks. I like playing Magic. I wouldn't pay to play it otherwise. But Arena has steadily just been like, I think I will say F you. Since they're in blue, I'm not gonna wait. I would have loved to play Reach that turn, but... We are hoping to draw actual action. Because I'm guessing they have removal for this. Oh, yeah, we're fucked. Okay. Alright. That is something. Ah, so close. I think we're still doomed. Ultras will tap down the Shinra. The Scorpions will hit for 4 apiece, in theory. Oh, they're not. Okay. Maybe I have a shot? Ooh. Malboro or Diamond Weapon? Getting 1 card out of their hands seems good, because we know it's not a land. But I can't block these profitably. I'm probably still dead. Fuck. Yeah, just not enough to do. We did find the ramp this time, but we didn't really get the... Oh, Ishtola's... Now they're just showing off. Yeah, I mean, that is the correct attack. I don't think I can survive. Yeah, opponent finally did the math. Yeah. Okay. Well, that ends that draft too. Good decks, just miserable draws. Alright. In order to draft again, I would have to buy gems. I don't think my mental health is in a state to do that right now. After just having non-games for like 3 drafts in a row. And yesterday's, where we were just flooding out with our red-blue decks the entire time. Where we should have, like, we could have been drawing anything, because we had so many draw effects, but... I don't want to spend more money on it when Arena hates me. If Arena would let me play, that'd be so sweet. Again, no, you know, shade on opponents. They have fine decks. They have fine play. They're not misplaying. They're doing good stuff in overall. But I would like to give them a game, even if I lose. That wasn't a game. Most of those were not games. Yeah. Ugh. 2 days of bad drafts. It's not just like one. It's and I was coming into it trying to, like, you know, recover from the previous one. Absolutely. Of like the previous day of drafts of just being, you know, flooded every time for the most part. With our Shantoto lovely decks, red blue, good stuffs, just got wrecked by Arena. Opponents played a hand in it, of course. Right, there's no doing that, but to not have another further 2 drafts of like just nothing really sucks. And that's the way it is sometimes, of course. But sometimes you're better able to handle it than others when it happens multiple times in a row. What's the theme here? Is it just Tarkir Dragonstorm, or are they doing something else? Yeah, I know. It's just 2 days, full days of like, this isn't just like one draft. This is like 9. It hurts. Trying to figure out what I want to do. We've done a couple best of threes, yeah. Hmm. Yeah, their standard or brawl, definitely. I would have to fix up a brawl deck to do that. And from what I've seen of brawl, it's all alchemy. I don't like alchemy. It's not all alchemy. There's a lot of alchemy cards in it that I'm just sort of like, that's a horrid thing to do to a person. Exactly. That's the thing. Like, that's what I'm saying. Is it's just there's so many things in Brawl that are just not fun to play against these days. Like, maybe if I build the least powerful Brawl deck I could with like the least powerful commander, we won't run up against any of those craziness. But like again, the alchemy cards are all crazy. Hey, why Dilly? Yeah, boo alchemy, exactly. Okay, well, so let me recover briefly by setting up a giveaway, and by fixing up a commander deck. That'll be fun. So let's set up the giveaway first. All right. So here is say exclamation point ticket to enter. This is a code for additional rewards, probably a pack. I'm not sure which pack, but a pack from Arena, thanks to Mama Boo. So just make sure your Twitch DMs are open so I can message you after the stream ends and send you this code. We've got a bunch courtesy of Mama Boo. It's super, super sweet. Really excited about it. But again, make sure your whispers, your Twitch DMs are open, that anybody can actually message you, because I still have Vector 11P's Lord of the Rings pre-release codes for 6 packs. So I've been hanging on to it because I couldn't reach them because their Twitch DMs were closed, and I met like I messaged in my Discord. I like they weren't in my Discord, but I messaged in case they ever found the Discord. And like, but yeah, if you don't receive a code from me for like an hour after the stream ends, assume that I forgot or I wasn't able to reach you, and message me on any of the socials. So the YouTube, the Discord. Here's the Discord. Here's the YouTube, and also Blue Sky. I'm off and on. So again, let me know that I didn't get you that code, and we'll make sure to get it to you, because I hang on to it for a while. This has already been like over a month that I've held on to this code, so let me know. So yeah. Okay. So let's fix up an EDH deck now, and give me a little bit of time to recover from the pissy mood engendered by those draws. Those drafts. All right. So I decided for now I am going to keep the Minsk and Boo deck as the more like 3 version. As opposed to the 2 that it was. I had left out all game changers, and it didn't have any infinite combos, and it didn't have any land destruction, and so on and so forth. So now I just added game changers. I didn't add land destruction or any combos, infinite combos or anything like that. So so I think I'm gonna keep it in that. Oh, I think you have to be on Umbra. I think you have to be on Twitch to do the exclamation point ticket. I'm sorry. The giveaways I think only work for that as opposed to on YouTube. I'm so sorry, Umbra. So for the inconvenience of that, but I don't think that Stream Elements pulls from the restream chat, unfortunately. So I don't think you were entered here. A ham sphere. So to run you through what this deck does, let's run you through what this deck does. Let's get close to the cards so I can show you in detail. So this is a Minsk and Boo deck, and this is a hamster throwing deck. So basically it puts Minsk and Boo, so Minsk and Boo puts Boo onto the battlefield, and then pumps Boo. And then eventually, if Boo gets big enough, or if, you know, things happen, you sacrifice Boo to draw cards. You sacrifice a creature, basically. And Minsk and Boo deals damage equal to that creature's power to any target. But if the sacrificed creature was a hamster, you get to draw cards, too. The mother was a hamster, and he probably does smell like elderberries. So this is a very powerful, fast deck for killing one person. For killing multiple people, it can be difficult. So that is what the deck does. That's the idea behind the deck, is Minsk puts Boo into play, puts 3 counters on it, and goes. Now, there's a version of it that I had previously that focuses more, that again is the less competitive, version, doesn't have game changers, that focuses a little bit more on putting +1/+1 counters on things. So these were cards that were previously in the deck. Anzrag was just in there so that I could have lots of combats in theory. But all of these either put counters on things or themselves, or so on. So that is what the deck had previously with Court of Garenbrig, Grumgully, Defiler of Vigor, Arwen, Weaver of Hope, Anzrag, just for fun, Forgotten Ancient, and Managorger Hydra. So those were the +1/+1 counter sort of sub-theme that was going on for that. And I also have a haste and trample sub-theme, because this puts +1/+1 counters on up to 1 target creature with trample or haste. So there was that. But the main thing is we're ramping into playing Boo early, Minsk and Boo early. And obviously we have Incubation, Druid, and Kami, that has the +1/+1 counter theme as well to do that. Chaos Warp is a removal spell. In red-green, you probably should always run this and Beast Within, because they allow you to target any permanent, and oftentimes you do have trouble with various things, removing various things. So Chaos Warp is a good one. Although if you're me and you Chaos Warp them, they will find a better card. So unfortunately. We have Shadow in the Warp, which allows us to cast creatures for 2 less and pings opponents for casting their first non-creature spell each turn. We have Ramp in the forms of Birds of Paradise, otherwise known as African Swallow. The Lighted Halfling. Now we have Xenaghost to double power and toughness. Or at least, based on their power, give them +X/+X, where is that? So we're making Boo bigger, better, faster, stronger is the idea of Xenaghost. We have Ramp, we have lands. Stomp is just a good DFC for this. So nice to punch there. So slash fight. Yeah, no, it's actually punch. Okay. Innkeeper's Talent gives us more +1/+1 counters and also gives ward. Eventually, Balaged Recovery gets something back. That's always really nice. Life's Legacy is a way to sacrifice Boo for... So first you can pump Boo and then you can draw the cards, right? So you can do both in a turn, which is nice. And draw cards equal to the sacrifice creature's power. We have War Room to draw cards. We have more lands. Arena of Glory is really nice for giving something haste. Rogue's Passage can make Boo unblockable before it's pumped, or after it's pumped. We've got Den of the Bugbear just as a value land. We've got Cultivate to ramp. We've got Valakut Awakening. It's a DFC that allows you to, if the cards in your hand are useless, you can go find better ones, hopefully. More lands. Hardened Scales allows us to put 4 counters on Boo rather than 3 when we do the Minsk and Boo effect. Lelia, again, gets +1/+1 counters and has haste and therefore can be pumped by Minsk and Boo. Enduring Courage gives things haste and +2/+0. We've got Evolution Sage to proliferate when the lands come into play. This one might be a cut at some point. We'll see. It just might not be necessary. But it does proliferate both the counters on Boo and the counters on Minsk and Boo. So it's a fine addition. I just have to think about whether it's better than others. Blasphemous Act is our Wrath. I think there's only one in the deck. We've got Fanatic of Ronus, again, to ramp to Minsk and Boo on 4. Elvish Mystic, same thing. Halana and Elena to put more +1/+1 counters on things. Very nice. All will be one as just sort of a gimmick for whenever I put 1 or more counters on a permanent or player, it deals that much damage to target opponent, or creature an opponent controls, or planeswalker an opponent controls, so that's fun. This, again, to ramp to Minsk and Boo. Neath is really fun to make sure that we get to draw cards and double power and toughness. Well, not just power. And then we have Swiftfoot Boots to give things hexproof and haste so that they can be targeted by Minsk and Boo for +1/+1 counters because they then have haste. And hexproof is always nice too, so that we can just kill things. We've got Ragavan, which can gain haste and do things. We've got Chandra's Ignition, which is our only other form of like sort of killing all the things. So if we can wipe the board with this, that's fine. But it also does to each opponent, notably, which is different from Nibelheim Awakening. So at least in its first iteration. So it's you know, a good way to kill people if they are lower life total than you, in theory. We've got the Great Henge in the form of the Party Tree, because Boo is often quite big and makes this cheaper to cast. We've got Heroic Intervention to protect our permanents. We've got Escape Tunnel, which allows us to make Boo unblockable, then put the counters on, and then go for 4 damage unblockable, for example. You wish there was a version of Hizuri's Predation that made 4/4 hamsters. That would be so cute. We've got a Reliquary Tower to have no maximum hand size. I'm not sure that this belongs in here. We don't really... Oh, well, actually, yeah, we do. We do draw a lot of cards on occasion off of Boo. We've got a Soul Ring to get it out faster. Here is the other hamster in the deck. Look at this beautiful hamster. I'm sure you're enthralled by the hamster. But this is also a hamster, which means that when Minsk and Boo sacrifices this, for example, you draw cards. So... Toski, just, again, drawing cards is good when you hit opponents with creatures. Unnatural Restoration, again, returns the permanent and then proliferate. Berserk is the best card for this deck, because, again, it doubles target creature's current power, and it gains trample. So there we have it. And then Bristly Bill, Spine Sower. So we are putting counters on things. Now, when... oh, sorry, there's still more. Rhythm of the Wild to give creatures unable to be make creatures unable to be countered. Non-token creatures I control have Riot, which is nice. You can put counters on them. Branching Evolution to put more counters. Questing Beast has haste and is just a good value card to get rid of planeswalkers, opposing planeswalkers, if possible. Again, you can put the Minsk and Boo counters on this, so it's a 7/7 Vigilance, Death Touch, Haste, and can't be blocked by creatures with power 2 or less. Archdruid's Charm is just a really versatile fight spell slash, a punch spell slash get creatures or lands, or tutor for stuff, or exile target artifact or enchantment. Ruby ramp stuff, and also Boo is often 4 power, so this can attack as a 3/4. Nature's Lore is more ramp. Bridgeware's Battle is a nice DFC that is a fight spell, but gives +2/+2. Salmot is First Strike, Vigilance, Haste, and draw effects for anything that damages opponents that has haste. Ancient Tomb is a game changer that allows me to get Minsc and Boo out faster. Tyvar's Stand allows me to protect and pump Boo, and Tamio's Safekeeping allows me to protect and pump Boo as well. Eternal Witness gets me back stuffs. Italic, because reasons, I wanted to. We got Rishkar, which again ramps me into the Minsc and Boo. We've got Vorinclex, which doubles the counters. Unnatural Growth, which doubles power and toughness. Kodama, which again allows me to ramp when my modified creatures, which are the ones with +1/+1 usually, deal combat damage to a player. We've got Command Beacon, just keep putting Minsc and Boo back, so once it gets too expensive. Tribute to the World Tree, again, drawing cards or putting counters on things. So if this is in play and Minsc and Boo enters, we get to put 2+1/+1 counters on it in addition to the 3 counters that Minsc and Boo adds to it. This Jackal is really fun. When it deals combat to a player, again, you can search for a basic land card, put it on its battlefield tap. So it has kind of the Kodama of the, was it East Tree or West Tree? I forget the freaking trees. Hello? Where are you at? Yeah, West Tree. So it sort of has that ability for itself. This one just gives it, Kodama of the West Tree gives it to all your other creatures. We got Ozolith to do counter things. To put things, we got Kazul's Fury to fling at things, and then we have the other Ozolith. But yeah, so we have Elvish Mystic, we have Birds of Paradise, we have, so yeah, Delighted Halfling, Birds of Paradise, Incubation Druid, Kami of Whispered Hopes. We have a bunch of ramp in terms of like Farseek, Nature's Lore, and the other 2 mana. We've got to Cultivate, and then we have Fanatic and Mystic there. We've got plenty of like ramp / stuffs for the deck. It is nice. So you could make, again, you can take out, you know, you can absolutely take out Itali, you can take out some of the recursion effects that we have in here, and you can make it a lot more focused on that. But the additions to the deck that made it slightly more competitive than the, because the game changers, than the +1/+1 counter sub-theme we had going here are Skullspore Nexus to be able to double power, Mana Vault to cast faster, Zopandrel to double power and toughness, which can be fetched up by the natural order. Jessica's Will to ramp us, Mox Diamond to ramp us, and Deflecting Swat to protect. So those are the like the stuff. But I think I want to put I want to put the Gruul Turf back in because I have so many DFCs that I want to be able to pull back into my hand and get full value out of if I had to use them as lands earlier. So I definitely want to put the Gruul Turf back in and figure out where it goes for this. So that means I'm going to have to like interrogate the land base, the mana base. And it's possible that like Fabled Passage could come out for that because we don't have any landfall synergies, and I've got plenty of other ways to fetch stuff. So I think it might go in for that, or a mountain. There are a few things that rely on having mountains in play, but not that many. So it's possible Fabled Passage comes out for the Gruul Turf. Again, if you want the deck the deck to do more earlier, like we can also add like Cursed Mirror, that's an interesting one, or Worldly Tutor, or let's see. These two are already in the deck. We don't need that. Vines of Vastwood is one of the things that I'm thinking of actually adding to this, because it can give so much. So let me go see if I can find that really quickly. Vines of Vastwood is a good addition to this one, because you can give +4/+4, I think it is, or something like that. Her hexproof. I've got to go find out. All right. Okay, yeah. So, so this is Vines of Vastwood. It's 1 green mana, with a kicker of green. Target creature can't be the target of spells or abilities your opponents control this turn, so it gives a hexproof. And if it was kicked, it also gets +4/+4. So it's a really nice way to protect Boo and pump at the same time. So it's a definite potential, inclusion in the deck for a more like focus on Boo, make Boo bigger, better, faster, stronger deck, as opposed to make a more like overall synergistic deck where Mints can pump somebody who's not Boo and keep going from there. So there's a lot of potential inclusions in this that I'm gonna consider as like a different version of the deck. This is my treasure token that I love, by the way, from RK Post. This makes me happy every time I see it. Okay. So there's multiple versions. So I'll be keeping the multiple versions together, because what I like to do with each EDH deck is keep multiple versions of the deck in a sideboard so that I can alter the deck as needed at the time. And it also keeps the deck fresh. So you can play it in its one version and then you shift it to the other, and have a blast with that for a while as well. And it keeps things like, it's a good way to like not get bored of a deck in my opinion. Although I rarely get bored of decks that I make ever. So that's Minsc and Boo, and that's one of the things that you can consider as far as like which direction you want to take it. Do you want to make it into the counter synergy matter stuff, which is a little tamer? Do you want to focus more on, Boo and making Boo, bigger, better, faster, stronger, like we were saying? And do you want to crush things that way? So that is a fun one. Now, again, you generally take out one player really fast, and then you're the threat on the board, and other people take you out pretty quickly. That's usually what happens in this deck, because it does get on the board and do big things really quickly. So just be forewarned, you are often the earliest threat on the table, which means people will be gunning for you. So worth consideration. I think Elves of Deep Shadow is not allowed to be run in a red-green deck, by the way, Scheibel. Findhorn Elves would be fine. Elvish Spirit Guide is a fine one. Again, for a more competitive version of the deck, which really, really, really focuses on getting out your commander fast, Elvish Spirit Guide, I think, is a perfectly fine inclusion. But an Arbor Elf is a good one, too. So this one, reconnect. Okay, there we go. So yeah, there's a lot of interesting potentials. Boo already has Trample, so Monstrous Rage is actually not a good trick, for the most part. And Boo is often going to be sacrificed, so you don't want to put enchantments on Boo, for the most part. You just want to target it, make it difficult to interact with, and make it bigger, better, faster, stronger, and then sacrifice it, draw lots of cards, and do the same thing all over again. So this, however, I've been struggling with this deck. This one, this is a this is a mess, is what this is. So I messed around. I used to have a deck that was an artifact deck with Kozilek and a few Eldrazi at its helm. I reworked that deck to be pure Eldrazi, with Kozilek Butcher at its helm, the draw 4, not the other one. So I reworked that to be an Eldrazi deck, which left me with a bunch of colorless artifacts to make into a deck. And I'm having trouble figuring out exactly what I want to do with this deck. I know that I want Liberator to be its commander, but I'm worried it's not all that interesting to play. So I'm just trying to figure out what I want to do with this deck. So Liberator is a 3 mana 1/2 flash flyer. I can cast colorless spells and artifact spells as though they had flash. And whenever I cast a spell, if the amount of that mana is bigger than this, right, the power, it gets a +1/+1 counter. So it's just a really nice way to be able to enable your artifact stuff and not have to play at sorcery speed. And this one, there are so many cool cards that I have to like for this. And I'm just, oh God, I'm having trouble cutting things down and figuring out what to do with it. But again, I'm also still a little bit worried about its replayability. We'll see. So let me show you what I have so far, as well as what, considerations there are. So we are definitely, okay, so those are the maybes there. Okay, so we've got a bunch of cool cards for this. We have an Ugin for it. We have Ugin Eye of the Storms, where it rewards us for playing colorless stuff. We have another Ugin for it, turns out. In fact, we have 2 other Ugins for it. Because Ugin works well in colorless decks. So we have Ugin the Spirit Dragon as well, to wipe the board of other colored permanents. We have the 6 mana Ugin. So it's 8/7/6 Ugins. Because the 6 mana makes our colorless spells 2 less to cast. And then also, of course, can get this value off the top of our library. Or destroy permanents. So the 3 Ugins have joined the fray. And I have a Karn that isn't a planeswalker that is in the deck. That is this one. Its power and toughness are each equal to the greatest mana value among artifacts you control. So at the very least, it is a 5/5. At the beginning of your upkeep, add 1 colorless for each artifact you control. It can't be spent to cast non-artifact spells, and it doesn't empty as steps and phases end until the end of turn. So that's a fun Karn. One of the questions is whether I include this Karn, which is a definitely fun way to draw cards in this deck. So I am considering this one. It is not in there yet, but it is a consideration. So as far as sort of planeswalkers go, these are the ones we're considering. Obviously, Karn itself, this one is just a creature. For ramp, we have a ton of crazy stuff. I really love a lot of this, so it's pretty cool to show. We've got some interesting cards here. Let me pull all the ramp out and show you. Okay, so we have the requisite Clark Clan Ironworks to sacrifice artifacts and add 2 to our mana pool. This is to cast a huge spell if we can. If that's to get Ugin out fast, basically, is the main point of this one. Sacrifice tiny things to get Ugin into play. We have a Mana Vault. That is a game changer, so worth considering removing if we need to. But I think there are other game changers in this currently that I can pull. Thought Vessel, always a really good one to have in your colorless decks. No maximum hand size, so it does the Reliquary Tower thing, but also provides you a colorless mana, which is all this deck needs. Blink Moth Urn, which allows each player to add 1 mana for each artifact they control. So it's a fun one. I don't know that it's actually going to be the best here, but I love that card, and I feel like it's fun. This is Metal Worker. This is a stupid card. So Metal Worker is a 1/2 for 3 that you can tap it and reveal any number of artifact cards in your hand and add 2 colorless mana to your mana pool for each card revealed this way. This is a dumb card. It is absolutely stupid. This is the only deck in which I run it. And well, actually, I think I might run it in my Memnarch deck, the blue artifact deck. I'm not sure. Oops. Anyway, Ornithopter of Paradise. Forsaken Monument, again, which allows me to tap permanents for colorless and add an additional colorless each time. Metal Worker is very stupid. Everflowing Chalice, Mind Stone, Thran Dynamo, Soul Ring, Hedron Archive, and technically I usually use Sculpting Steel, which can enter as a copy of any artifact on the battlefield. I use this usually to provide extra mana, but it can actually be any artifact. So that's the mana currently, like the mana adders currently. There is like in the sideboard, several of the things that I'm considering adding for mana rocks are Fell Warstone, which is just a fun one. Sonic Screwdriver, which also allows me to untap another target artifact or make things unblockable, is pretty sweet. I really like Sonic Screwdriver in colorless decks. Planar Atlas is also really fun because not only does it ramp you for the next turn, obviously it doesn't like come into play untapped like Mind Stone or Thought Vessel or etc. But it can potentially find you another land to make sure you hit your land drops. So I do very much like this card in the colorless decks. So these 3 are considerations for more mana rocks if I decide that that's where I want to go. And we have as far as like the rest of the deck, there's so many things to consider. So the current stuff that's in there is Sir Ginger, because I really wanted Sir Ginger to go in somewhere. But it says whenever another artifact you control is put into a graveyard from the battlefield, put a +1/+1 counter on it and scry 1, which is pretty sweet. You can sacrifice it and do stuff. Trample, Hexproof, and Haste as long as an opponent controls a Planeswalker. It's just a 2 mana 3/1 artifact that we get down early, which is pretty cool. Cityscape Leveler, which is, removal. Crawl Space, make sure nobody can attack me with more than 2 creatures. Mirage Mirror is a really good inclusion in any artifact deck, or basically any deck. It really allows you to surprise people quite quickly. It's very nice. So you can make it as a copy of like anything there and just be like, hello, I am you. Retrofitter Foundry is just so much fun. Zenith Chronicler, I wanted to try out in this one. Whenever a player casts their first multicolored spell each turn, each other player draws a card. So it felt like a really good artifact to get down early and just give other people gifts and make, because normally this is, people can remove things very, very easily in your artifact deck and target you very quickly in your artifact deck. So it's a nice thing to do for people. Cold Oath Forge Master allows me to sacrifice 3 artifacts and then put an artifact card onto the battlefield from my library anywhere I want. Scroll Rack just allows me to cycle through my deck, find cards. Pull the cards from my hand, look at the top cards of my library, put those into my hand, then put these back on top and sort of cycle through some stuff once. Obviously, you can sort of get locked if you find nothing useful, but usually you're going to be able to find something. Chaos Wand is just a meme card. I have a crimped card, Chaos Wand, here because I can I can take their instants and sorceries and do things. It makes me happy. So this is technically very slow and not really, it's kind of stupid, but I felt like doing it. Might Stone and Weak Stone is just you either draw 2 cards, get -5/-5, or and then still also adds mana. So it's usually going to be a removal spell, but it does add mana, so it could go in the mana producing things. Thrawn Spood, again, ramping 1 person is pretty sweet. Tapped Power Stone token, because you can, 3 mana for 2/4 reach is not bad, but also you can give an opponent a Power Stone who looks like they're not going to cast that many artifacts, and it's still like you can also ramp somebody who's struggling in an EDH game because you just want to have a better game. So and then you can search for artifacts in theory. So it's currently in there. It's not a very powerful card. This is one of my pet cards for this deck. Its power and toughness are each equal to the number of artifacts you control, and it's indestructible and attacks each turn if able. This often acts as like a 10/10 indestructible. It's not really good, but it's very fun, and it's a juggernaut. And I get to say, do you know who I am? And then hopefully the rest of the table will respond. We have Colossus of Akros, which is an interesting one. If you can produce a ton of mana, this is a really good one to have, because it's an 8/8, 10/10 Defender Indestructible, but you can then pay 10 to make it a 20/20 Indestructible that can attack. So we have Mystic Forge. That's a way to, again, be able to cast stuff from the top of our library and fix our draws, because you can, again, tap, pay 1 life, and exile the top to make sure if you don't like it. So as far as other things here, we have Prototype Portal, which allows me to put copies of the exiled card into my onto the battlefield. So if I like exile a Surgeon, well, not Surgeon, not a legendary card. Let's not do that. Let's exile a Cityscape Leveler and have some fun, like killing things. So Prototype Portal is just a way for me to be janky and weird. Contagion Engine allows me to proliferate and do things. We do have a few Planeswalkers to proliferate. We don't have that many +1/+1 counters on various things in this deck. This isn't the Memnarch deck is my charge and proliferate deck with artifacts. This one really isn't, but this is still a fun card for it. Darksteel Forge, the requisite Darksteel Forge for any artifact deck. Mirror Works, right? I can copy the artifacts that I play. It's fun. Portals of Phyrexia, because reasons. Mimic Vat, because we want to be able to steal things and play them from opponents' graveyards. Play it, right? Exile it instead, and then play it. Palantir to draw cards. Clock of Omens to untap and do the things. Vidalcan Orrery to cast things as though they had flash. Obviously, Liberator allows us to do that, but another way to do that is also really nice. Storage Matrix makes me so happy, and it's also mean. It can be, because basically you have to choose what to untap, artifacts, creatures, or lands. And so for me, my artifacts provide so much mana that they are effectively are lands. So I can choose artifacts, untap all my creatures and my lands, is effectively like a bunch of mana producers. So Storage Matrix is just really fun for artifact decks. Lightning Greaves, because reasons. Unwinding Clock lets me untap all artifacts I control during each player's untap step. So that gives everything Ursat's Vigilance and also allows me to cast spells. Not like we're casting instants in this, but there we are. Scarecrow allows me to tap return target artifact creature card from my graveyard to play. That's a really fun one. And you can sacrifice Scarecrow to draw a card. Etched Champion is just a tiny little bugger that gets protection from everything, all colors, as long as you control 3 or more artifacts. It's more of a cutesy thing than anything. I don't know that it still belongs. Now, there are 2 cards in here that aren't artifacts. That are creatures here, Wandering Archaic and Abstruse Archaic. Copy target activated or triggered ability from a colorless source. I can choose new target. That's pretty sweet. And then Wandering Archaic is attacks on opponents' instants and sorcery spells. Or if they don't want to pay the tax, I get to cast a copy of the spell. So it's a nice one. Sword of Forge and Frontier is a way to draw further into the deck, exile the top 2 cards, and I can play those and play an additional land. So that's the sword that I chose for the deck currently. Shimmermere, again, can cast as flash. Copper Gnomes, you can sacrifice it and pay 4 to choose an artifact card and put that card into play. So if I have Copper Gnomes in play, on turn 4, I can, in theory, put Portal to Phyrexia into play. Like one of my, or Darksteel Forge. Those are all really nice to get into play early. Duplicant is just an exile effect on a body. It's pretty weak, but still fun. Disc probably won't make it into the deck, but it currently is in there. I'm just not sure that it actually ends up in there. Walking Ballista is amazing. Steel Overseer is the one thing that really, you know, we got one more thing that adds counters, but like Steel Overseer is the way to pump all the things. Mirror Retriever gets stuff back when it dies. All is Dust is my like remove all the things that are one or more colors along with the other Ugin effect to just wipe the board. Energy Chamber is the other, is the second +1/+1 counter stuff or charge counters. We've got Hangerback Walker, we've got Wormcrow Engine, and then obviously we have a ton of lands. But I have so many things to consider. I can consider a Foundry Inspector. I can consider a Helm of the Host. I've got an adaptive Omni tool here to find, it's an equipment that will find me more artifacts. So it gives +1/+1 for each artifact I control, and whenever it attacks, I can look at the top 6 and reveal an artifact and put it into my hand. That's pretty sweet. Marketback Walker is decent. Card draw if it dies. It's another XX spell, which is pretty cool. We've got a Mindslaver option if we want to be assholes. And we've got a Skull Clamp, but we don't have that many small things. So I don't know that Skull Clamp, even though Skull Clamp is always still good, because if the thing, you know, even if the big thing that you equip it to dies, you get to draw 2 cards. That's always nice. But so that's a possibility. We've got an Ancient Stone Idol that I might actually like better than that Guardian that we have, even though the Guardian is indestructible. This one I really like when people attack you and then you suddenly flash in a 12/12, that when it dies you still get other things. That's super sweet. I'm also considering Realm Breaker because it is actually a way to ramp in this deck. I don't have any Praetors in this deck. I don't think there are any colorless Praetors. but it is a cool way to ramp in this. So those are considerations. Things that I'm probably considering taking out are like Platinum Angel, Steel Hellkite. Oh no, I probably am keeping Steel Hellkite and Mind's Eye. Those are good. Probably keeping both of those. But like Platinum Angel, I'm not sure is any good anymore. Soul of New Phyrexia is fun, but probably not great. Lux Cannon is really the proliferate area where you could put charge counters on it and then like kill things. Makes me happy. Lodestone Golem is a consideration. Sensei's Divining Top slows games down too much. I think I probably won't run that. It's just irritating. I'm considering my Metalwork Colossus though. That one's fun. And then we have, what else do we have as a consideration? We had Manifold Key as a possibility to untap things. I didn't see a Voltaic Key in this yet, so I'm definitely gonna want a Voltaic Key in this. Perilous Vault is all interesting. Exile all non-land permanents. We do have a Wrath there possibility. I like the Maze Mine Tome as well as a possibility. I like Palladium Mirror as a possibility, and Strionic Resonator copying triggered abilities. I'm not sure it's necessary, but there are just so many things to consider for this deck that I'm having huge amounts of trouble like figuring out what I want in it. And again, I'm still worried that it'll play very similarly each time, but that doesn't mean that I can't have fun with it on occasion. Because this has a lot of some of like my pet cards. One of the earlier decks that I made was the shell of this was one of the earlier decks that I made. So it's a fun one. All right. So that's what I'm messing with here, and I'm not sure. You like Sandstone Oracle? That's an interesting one. That's the uncommon, right? From a while back. Yeah, I know what you're talking about. The seven mana. Like it's a flyer. I think like a 3/4 flyer or something. I think it does something with like the top of your library with artifact. I'm not absolutely certain, but yeah. So when a Palantir has more than one counter, just let them have the draw. Yeah, especially in a big artifact deck. Take 11, right? I swear the next card is not Emrakul in the Eldrazi deck. I have a Palantir in this deck and a Palantir in the Eldrazi deck, and those are I think the only 2 Palantirs that I have, and they're the only 2 Palantirs in decks. So, all right. Let me think about this. Well, let's buy some more gems. And go from there. Hold on a second. I have to do a calculation. Okay. So apparently they just added the ability to buy 40,000 gems for $199.99. Here's why that's slightly confusing. 99.99 times 2 is 199.98. So technically the 20,000 gems is a better deal. But like buying 2 of the 20,000 gems is a better deal. I just wanted to I literally just checked on a calculator in case I was being an idiot somehow. Like I teach math, but I just wanted to make sure that somehow I wasn't that I was just like what? But it's by 1 cent, but it is, and it's 1 transaction as opposed to 2. I don't know whether you get charged extra per transaction. I don't think you do. It's just tax, and the tax is the same. So technically, the 20,000 is by 1 cent a better deal. Am I missing something, chat? Is something going, like, what am I missing? Help. Not missing anything. Okay. They're charging 1 cent more if you want to buy more gems. I pay off my credit cards instantly. Interest is not an issue. No, this is though. I think Coral, you're messing up. This one is 1 cent more than if you bought 2. So you don't have to make a ton of transaction if you're whaling. Well said. Well said. I thought they were suddenly, I was so excited. I was like, oh, they're going to give us a better deal for more gems. And then no, it's a worse deal. Thanks. Fun. Are they trying to, like, people are complaining about pressing buttons twice. People complain about a lot of things. That's probably true. What even? I'm going to take a picture of this. Like, why don't they want to incentivize buying more gems? Why is that not a thing? Like, they're doing that between here and here. They're doing that between here and here. They're doing, like, what? They're not doing that between here. Like, what the hell? This is so weird. Okay, anyway, I just wanted to know whether I was going insane, because I feel tonight like I'm going insane. Like, my brain is a little bit of a mush because of the, yeah. So, like, so I thought something, thank you for confirming that I'm, yeah. You think it's just an oversight and not on purpose? Maybe tomorrow, maybe if I buy gems today, tomorrow they'll fix it and I'll regret not buying, you know, getting the better deal on more, but I'll just go for the smaller one. First I have to post about this though. This is pretty impressive. This is pretty cool. Wait, I have to check one thing. Okay. Oh, there's some good articles about Superman too. That's cool. Sorry, I was getting lost here. All right, let me buy cards. Buy gems, rather. All right, let's go. I am mostly recovered, and I have a giveaway to make me happy. So, let's go. No, I don't want a quick draft. I lied. I thought it was on the wrong side. There we are. No, there it is. Okay. Morning, Jennifer. Oh, I really want to put that metalwork. Okay, I'm gonna pull the metalwork colossus. Pull the. Okay, yeah, I'm gonna do that. Pull that for the metalwork colossus. Where is it? Let's see. Ooh, got a draft ready. Side quest here, I think. I do love making this go crazy. But we're gonna take side quest here. Pixie, also very good. Weapons vendor, ice magic, resentful. Actually, chat, what do you want to take? Do you want to take something else? Do you want to take Pixie or Minwoo? None of these are like, you know, super make or break. I think the side quest is the best. Yeah, Minwoo is a curse to never see white mages staffs. Yes, I have noticed that. I have taken Minwoo before and had like multiple Aeriths and just no white mages staffs. So, all right, we go for the strongest card. Okay, white aura sight, Colosseum behemoth, Dragoon's Wyvern, realm sketching. Could try for the Fang and what's it combo. All right, do you want, I think it's Colosseum behemoth or white aura sight here, over the Wyvern. I haven't run a white-black deck in a while, but it seems like it could be fun. So we'll do that. Vane's Treachery, Magitech Infantry. Are we Magiteching or are we Vane's Treacherying? So here's the thing, you have to like prioritize Magitech infantries if you're going to get them. They're very good and it would be a cool thing to grab here. I like the side quest slightly better than I like the aura sight. Vane is safer as far as like this being the slightly stronger card that we've already taken. We usually only, I've never gotten more than 2 Magitech infantries, but I've played against people with 6. If I don't take it here, though, I can't necessarily expect it to wheel or do anything. I'm still going to take the Treachery because we're not guaranteed to be in white. And there's no white in this pack, and it's only pick 4. That does suggest that this pack was bad color distribution rather than just, like, being mined for white. I can take the combat tutorial. I can also just take the green signal out of the pack and just take the Baum T-Rexor. I think it's combat tutorial, but this is the thing. What a weird draft here so far. Okay, Phantom Train, Marlboro. This is, I'm gonna take the Phantom Train. We're gonna go from there, but okay. Revelation, Relentless, Curl, Blitzball. I think I just go Revelation to, or Relentless to. I'm gonna go the Relentless for now, but to just stay open to something, because I don't know what my second color is at this point. Okay, Hectize here over Ice Magic and second Phantom Train. I just know I think I want to be in black. I don't know what else we're gonna be in here. Oh, okay, Weapons Vendor is nice. Alright, so far it looks... Should we take it, chat? Should we do the stupidity thing? Like, we don't have the death touchers in white. We would want this in the green, I think. Maybe I just take the Resentful or the Vector. First strike on a Phantom Train is pretty sweet. Alright, we could have 1 or 2 death touchers in black, you're right. Prompto, Gigantode, this. Ugh. I don't really want to limit break. I'm going to take the Prompto. Ring over Poison. Death Touch is best, though, because it forces to block, and Death Touch first strike means your creature's never going to die. I had so much fun with this with the Death Touch deck. Alright. Let's see where we end up. It was a strange first pack. But like the Arimans would be interesting with this. But usually the Arimans already have evasion, so they're not going to be blocked. That's the problem. Like you actually want them to not be able to play an untapped creature, basically, for fear that it's going to have to block and be killed. I'll take a Vector here over Pandora. Just, you know, in case the red is where we end up. Oh, God. All right, we'll see. Help! Genji Glove is not help! Alright, there's a Magitech armor, but I'm gonna take the Sephiroth's intervention. There's a fat Chocobo that I want. Ooh, Esper Origins? That card is sick. There's also another white Auracite. I didn't see green in the first pack, but Esper Origins is good enough on a splash that I'm still going to take it here over Auracite and Chocobo and Starting Town and Dire Rat and Thingies and... But I could just take Auracite. I'm not seeing the... I didn't see much white either. I'm going to take this. We're going to see what happens. Okay. Dragoon's Wyvern and Side Quest. And an Eject. I hate this. Ristic Study. Circle of Power, Black Mage's Rod, and Hectize. Some really good white. Battle Menu and Fate. I think it's between Circle and Black Mage's Rod for me. I'm going to take the first Circle, but I could be wrong. Greatsword and Ahriman. I'm going to take the first Greatsword. Even though that Ahriman is the Death Toucher we're looking for with the Masamune, this is also makes things big and hard to block as well. Grahatia and Fate. And Ahriman? Oh, man. I think I have to take the Ahriman. Like, the white is good. It's just, I don't have early white at all. And I'm just, yeah, fudge. Otherwise, I would take Graha, I think. Yeah, I'm going to take this. I need early drops and stuffs. Okay, well, we could do Abzan with the Esper or yeah, we could do Abzan. I don't have fixing, but we could do Abzan. I could just take Malboro as well. Like that's yeah, I'm gonna take Malboro, whatever. Sith? Fate? Crossroads? Ick. Okay, okay, okay. Now I at least have a 2-drop in frickin' white. Huh. This with the Esper Origins, we could try for the... No, let's just take a Monk's Fist. What? Mono black. Let's go. Give me the god. Give me Zodiark. Blech. All right. I mean, Crystal Chosen is not bad, and I would take that if we were definitely in white. But since the Ninja's Blade is there, I'm gonna take it for now. It's not the best, but all right. Let me move some things around and see what we have here. Oh man. Second Circle of Power. Planisphere is very good. We could just take the Second Circle of Power. Good blue. Sleep Magic, Dragoon's Wyvern. Those are Ride the Shoe Puff in green if I wanted it. Just chuck Sheath over and over with plates, yeah. Just take Armand? This is bleh. I don't like it. Oh, Bruce Tarl, Jesus Christ. Can I make that work? No, I really don't think I can make that work. I'm just supposed to take Heck Dies or like White Mage's Staff and Insomnia here, like, or this stuff. Like, oh man. This card is sick. I can't do it though. Either I stay mono black and take Heck Dice, or I just take the staff. I'm gonna take the staff. What are these packs? I mean, the sleep magic is good, but I think I committed to white here. I don't like it. I didn't want to do that. Okay, fine. We'll just Crystal's Chosen the hell out of things. I don't like this. I don't want to play this deck. Things were so weird this draft. I don't know what was open. I think blue was definitely open in the last pack. Like, we could add a ton of Verns, but because I wasn't sure whether we were going the white or the blue, like... Meh. I wish we could have gone mono black. I think that would have been fun. Zodiark being passed would have been sweet. But the combination of the Aura Site and the Vendor, given that we have so many equipment, is, I think, important. So the white took slight preference there. Probably can't splash the Esper Origins. Well, that's a nice gift at the end, the Insomnia. Because we have so many doubles and we have, like... Yeah, no fixing. Ah, man. This draft is not exciting. Oh well. Maybe it'll do better than the exciting ones did anyway. Okay. If I run both Crystals Chosen, I probably want to run the ring. I don't think the Masamune is gonna be run here. Most of our creatures are just too small, and these already have evasion, so they're not likely to sort of punish people for playing anything. Obviously, we can pump some things with a greatsword, but remember, this doesn't pump at all. So I think these are probably... the cuts. I'm a little worried about having quite so many 4-drops. Maybe run a Monk's Fist over one of the 4-drops. Or I can cut the Relentless. Run a Monk's Fist. Actually, I can run Poison the Waters. There are a few things that die to it on my side, but I can also just take something out of their hand. Or I can just cut this and just run this as a 40-card deck and hope Arena doesn't mess us up. Let's see if that works. All right, so this is 9 and 9 sources of black and white. Let's try it. Let's try it. All right. Okay, Colossus of Akros is coming out from Metalwork Colossus. We going Colossicizing. Okay. Not my best hand, not my worst. Oh, cool. Turn 1 Chocobo on the play. All right. Good times. I need removal. I can tap down the Chocobo, but I need time. Where's my removal? We have side quest, we have Sephiroths, we have White Auracite, we have Vane's Treachery, we have even just 2 Death Touchers, the Ahriman. Well, we're dead. Seriously? Just 1 piece of removal in all of this earlier. Okay. Fun game. No. Fuck off. Any piece of removal! I have to build out the board so that I can do something to put something in play and tap that down because the other one's getting bigger too, so I just need a piece of removal at any point. Non-game. Yay. Okay, I'm gonna need a 4th land. But hopefully the Curl can hold things off until then. Okay, there's the 4th land. Well, this is irritating. Okay, stop with the lands, please, now. We can cast our thing. If they have fire magic here, I might just have to stop for the night. Like, I don't. Oh, good. Choosing the island because Chocobo's thing, Mountain Chocobo fetches the mountains anyway, and so we want to put the mountains in their hand. But, good card. That's a draw. That's definitely a draw. I'm not holding this up because I don't. This one can. I don't want to kill Quistis or this with this. I want to kill whatever else. You know, the big, whatever they play next, or Shantota or etc. I'm out of action. They still have plenty. So we'll see how this goes. If I can draw White Auracite, Circle of Power to draw more, side quest would be great. Another crystal's chosen, they have potential counter magic for. Okay, well maybe we just go for the tap and try this. Okay, so first we do this. To ping for 1. Then we go for tap. Now do I re-equip is the question. Because I'm assuming they have removal for one thing. And they can block this here. I don't think it's worth spending the 3. Okay, they have 2 ice magics? Jesus. Okay, well, at least we got to spend both. We got to kill that. That's okay. So this dies next turn. We have 1 threat. We can tap something down. Awkward. And tap this down, force a trade with this. No, come on, stop with the lands! What the fuck, dude? Alright, again, we can force this trade. Jesus. Yikes. I don't know that we're gonna make it. Hmm. God damn it. Yeah, because they can make this into a 10, 10, and then with this and tap down the Ahriman and attack. Or kill things with a bomb. This sucks. I can sacrifice something. Hmm. So I got a 1 on board. So I can't equip this ever. This sucks. We just needed to not draw quite so many lands. Like anything would have done it, but we couldn't find it. God, this sucks. Okay, this is misery. Put them to 1 and then lose. Literally one more spell in all of this. One more, just one. One more creature when we do like 4 lands in a row. One more spell there, like a non-creature spell. I think the trades are right because we were trading with something bigger every time and we could just re-equip and go. And we could tap something down each time. But then, unfortunately, we hit like a pocket of lands. And they just kept hitting spells. All right, let's try and refresh here. Please give me some lands to play these cards, but please don't give me a million lands like you did last time. I don't know if Magic is for me today. We'll see. Okay. So, let's go... Ninja's Blades? Or do we Chocomog and attack for 3? If I draw another land, I want to play Circle of Power next turn. Hmm. Hey, Dig Dug! Sorry, you're coming into a miserable night of Magic, just like a miserable morning yesterday. Like 2 streams of just misery. We'll see what we can do here, though. I'm gonna try and... I'm already tilting, though. I really shouldn't be, but... Oh, come on. That's what we wanted last time. We just want to land this time. Just a land. They're on 3 colors that they've gotten perfectly, and we're just like, I can't even hit a 4th land in my 17 land deck. My deck is 48% lands. Arg. Oh good, a tapped creature. Still can't hit the 4th. Okay. Yeah. I am definitely going to stop after this game. Too emotional for this right now. Can't take the getting hit in the face over and over and over again by the shuffler. That can't be the right choice. You're too freaking late. Alright, we're still doing this. Lose 2 life. Gonna have to make bad blocks, I think, but... I need to draw an untapped land so I can side quest, but I might also just have to play out multiple creatures, and I still need an untapped land to do that, because we haven't drawn lands. I have to like double block. I can't profitably block because this can pump. I can't do anything here. I got my untapped land, but it's just too late. This comes into play tapped, so... There's nothing to be done. I can chump, and that's it, and they're gonna put out another 5/5, and I have no way of dealing with any of that shit. Another draft ended with no play. That sucks. Maybe they fuck up. What are the odds? Oh, they fucked up. Okay. Nope, they didn't fuck up because the Black Mage's Rod. I still have to double chump. Yeah, I'm stopping after this. This is not fun. Not fun at all. One land gives us a game, even if we lose it. This wasn't a game. All right, let's just go. All right, I'm done. Let's go raid somebody after we do the drawing. The giveaway will make me happy. But this is a whole lot of not playing Magic, so I'm out. Okay. All right. So we're going to close the giveaway and we're going to raid somebody. And maybe someday Arena will let me play Magic. Mars, congratulations! You have won the pack for the code for an extra pack. I don't know which pack it is. I hope it's cool. And I hope you open well from whatever's inside it. And I will mail you this, like, I'll DM you this right after the stream ends. And we raid somebody, which is right now. So, yeah. I can only take so much of being destroyed by the shuffler that, yeah, we're done. All right. Let's go see whom we should raid. You're so welcome. Hi, Gabriel. Sorry, we're leaving. I can't stand any more of this bullshit. Let's raid Gabe Nassif. You can do Modern Challenge with blue-white control. That'll be fun. So let's search Yellow Hats. Oh, I'm so angry. And sad. Like, really legit sad. Because, like, that's like 15 drafts in it. Well, sorry. That's an overestimate. That is probably around 9 drafts now of not playing Magic. So, and I'm not a fan of that. Not a fan. Thanks. All right. Let us raid now. I will send out that giveaway right after the stream ends, and send you that code via Twitch DMs. Make sure Twitch DMs are open, Mars, please. And we will go from there. And then I'm going to go cry into my pillow. Love you all. Have such a good time. Have a wonderful morning, noon, night, afternoon, tea, second breakfast, whatever time it is for you. Yellow Hat's going to be playing Constructed. Hopefully things don't go as wrong there. Rating now. Check out the sponsors when you get the chance. They're super sweet. Fractal Magic, Jank, and Rogue. Rating now.